Hello, hello. This is Aviva Tamar, your happy high priestess, and I'm here with a full moon reading for you. Ooh, it's very exciting. Tonight at 12:12 a.m. on 12/12, we will be having a beautiful full moon, and it is already beautiful and full here at my house, and I am loving it so much. It's so bright and big and lovely, and thankfully I live out in the country, so I can go stand outside in the frigid air and just stare at her, and I'm loving it. So I hope you also have a wonderful full moon evening, and I hope that this reading that I am about to give can assist you in figuring out how to utilize this full moon energy to its fullest potential and to your fullest potential, I guess. So let's get started. I don't know why I did that. Right here, we're going to start with my Cryptids Tarot deck that I got on Etsy. I cannot remember the name of the artist, so I am sorry, but he is on Etsy. He or she, I do not remember. I really don't. I'm sorry. It's been so long. But I do like this deck a lot. I love the art because I love cryptids. I think they're awesome. Hit me up if you love Mothman. Yeah. Straight up. All right. Guide us, full moon. What do we need to release? Oh. We need to release the Lovers. So the Lovers doesn't necessarily mean a romantic situation. Okay? It doesn't necessarily you need to let go of a relationship. That may be guidance for some people. You need to think about your individual situation, okay? Don't just take my word as the ultimate truth. I may or may not actually be picking up on your individual energy because YouTube is a very big place and I have no idea how many people may actually watch this reading. So do be aware of that. You need to use your own intuition in order to interpret the messages that I'm giving because my words are being the message is being filtered through my personal experiences. So you have to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Otherwise, things can get kind of mixed up. Okay? All right, now that I've given you that disclaimer, the Lovers is a card that often represents choices. It also can represent balance. Luckily, I have my Bible here with me. Discovering Yourself Through the Tarot, a Jungian Guide to Archetypes and Personality by Rose Gwain. Oh my goodness, I read this all the time, every day. I use it every time I read tarot cards for myself. So I love using it as a reference. And since this is a very important reading, because it is a full moon reading, I am going to get this card interpreted for you through this. Let me see. Got the Lovers. Pardon me. I'm slow. Here it is. I even have things underlined. Oh, how nice. Okay. The Lovers represents the royal marriage of the alchemist, an initiatory force. I apologize for that. As well as the process itself, where one aspect of the self must die to the opposite aspect. Okay, that makes sense to me. So we are releasing tonight and in the coming days with this full moon energy, we're releasing an aspect of ourself that does not any longer represent who we are. Okay, so have that in your mind right now. Okay, whatever was the first thing to pop up in your mind when I said that, something about yourself that needs to be dropped, what popped into your head? That's probably it. I mean, think about it for a minute, mull it over maybe, but most likely, when you consider all the possibilities, the one that popped into your head first is going to be the one that is the thing that you need to deal with. The first part of the process involves dissolution or a separation into two component parts. So that's when you're compartmentalizing parts of your life, like, okay, I am a dancer over here, I am a witch over here, I am a teacher over here, okay, but I have all of my aspects of myself represented, right? And everything is like recognized for what it is. I'm not repressing any parts of myself, but all of the parts of myself are still kind of separate. Like there's no overlap between the parts of your like personality, like who you are when you're doing this versus who you are when you're with this person, This stage is followed by the mysterium. Wow, that's a Latin word. I am not going to attempt to pronounce that for you because that would be very silly. It would be very silly sounding. And I would butcher it, I'm sure. The union of the royal couple. Okay, this stage is followed by the union of the royal couple that represents the combining of opposites. So this would be you integrating your shadow side kind of thing. This synthesis is presided over by Eros, or Cupid, the force of love, which is behind all manifestation. I might be wrong about the Eros Cupid thing. I feel like one of my students called me out on that once. Please research it and comment down below. Let me know. So yeah, using the force of love, essentially, you don't have to personify it. It's just whatever you recognize as love, okay? Just that kind of vibration is what is really going to drive this this energy right now, okay? This is the experience of losing the ego identity, and it can be confusing, disorienting, and frightening. From this union, however, will come the third, or the solution to the problem of opposites. And I love that about the Lovers card is that it doesn't, like, because it's not a literal relationship, it's not two literal lovers. It's like you loving the opposites within yourself and coming into a balance through that. I hope that makes sense to you. So I'm gonna go deeper into this energy now. All right. So now we know that we are releasing some parts of our ego probably in order to move to a higher level of self, which is like great because that's like this is perfect timing. We're about to head into the new year. We need to get ourselves into balance. Get ourselves ready to get going. So, what messages can we receive from the Lover's energy? What messages do we need to receive from the Lover's energy during this full moon? Ooh, we have the High Priestess. Okay, the High Priestess. Oh, jeez. The High Priestess is your intuition. That's messages from the divine knowledge. She literally, not literally, she is the Holy Spirit personified, as represented in the Rider-Waite Tarot, which is the deck that I'm using. She is not necessarily supposed to be a human person. She is the archetype of the feminine aspect of the divine. She is also the archetype for intuition, feminine, the intuitive feminine. So like a deeply intuitive human being. But really I'm feeling like divine knowledge. So you're probably going to be getting some downloads. I don't know what other word to use. That's what everybody else uses. So you'll probably just be getting a lot of information So meditation right now, active imagination, and paying attention to your dreams, logging those, probably a really good idea. It would give you some insight into what is going on in your world. I'm going to take a hot chocolate break because I saw Tintin. Well, really, just because I wanted to. I saw 1010 as I was saying that. Don't mind me. You should get yourself some hot chocolate. Videos can be paused. I'll wait. All right. So we definitely need to be paying attention to our intuition in the coming days to make sure that we're on top of things, on top of ourselves and on top of our balance. Our higher self is really going to be helpful in identifying like the parts of our ego that need to be kind of definitely not repressed, but identified. Like, oh, hey, I didn't have a conversation with this part of myself before. Maybe we should like sit down and have a talk. So I'm going to sit down with my anxiety today and we're going to have a conversation about why I'm having this anxiety, where it's coming from, what my anxiety needs in order to be properly recognized, and how we can move forward together as partners, myself and my anxiety. This is a literal process that I've been through and I recommend it. Active imagination with the guide of a therapist, like a trained therapist, is super, super helpful, or at least it was for me personally, because I'm sorry, I hate my hair today. I'm sorry, I'm not setting those spells on myself. I love my hair and I appreciate my hair. I just want it to do things that it's not doing right now. Okay. Anyway. Let's get back into the cards. We have 3 cards that came out. We have the Tower, Temperance, and the 6 of Pentacles, which I do feel like this is perfectly in line with our Lovers card that we got as our initial energy, and the fact that Gemini is, I do believe, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I never really pay attention to this stuff, I just read tarot cards. But I do believe that this full moon is in Gemini right now. Yeah, comment. Let me know. Anyway, the Tower, don't be afraid. It's just change. It might be big. It might not be. It probably will just feel big. It could also be intuitive insights, which with the High Priestess and Temperance, probably, and the Lovers with the implications with that, and the full moon energy, you're probably just going to get it. Wow, you're going to get it. You are going to probably get some insights, some information into yourself, and it's going to change the way you see things, or it's going to change the way you operate in a noticeable way for you and for those around you. So that's what the Tower can represent. It's just a foundation being shaken, things being rattled. That's ridiculous. I have fun. There's things being shaken up, it's like an earthquake. So it can be jarring. It could be scary. Like the little book said, this process of recognizing ego patterns and then properly appreciating and dealing with them, in order to become partners with that aspect of yourself. It's a really difficult process. It brings on a lot of guilt initially sometimes when you've made a lot of bad choices. It can bring on a lot of really negative emotions directed towards yourself, which is always really uncomfortable. But you're being asked at this time to allow that process to happen. Don't fight with any insights that you get. Don't fight with the divine intuition. Okay, I guess that came out properly. Don't fight with your divine intuition. If you have like a deep feeling about something, like a really deeply rooted, like something is calling out to you feeling, like I know like in Disney movies, it's like a literal thing where like something's calling out to me from out there and I need to go find out what it is. Like that kind of happens internally in times like this where we need to recognize ego patterns and move past them. So yeah, just allow this process to happen. Okay, don't fight with it, and allow yourself to be uncomfortable right now, because a lot of us are probably going to be a little uncomfortable for a little while. This is what I'm seeing here. Now with Temperance, we have ourselves easily moving back into balance as long as we are following the path of the divine. That's what's indicated with Temperance. Wait, over here. We have the path of the divine towards the golden crown. You know, this can represent Jesus or the Holy Spirit, the Father also. I don't know. It's divine abundance. It's also balance and divine guidance. So I really do feel like you're being watched over, you're being guided, you're being protected, and you're going to get some information either in the physical world or in your dreams or through your intuition or meditation that will probably shake you a little bit, but ultimately will bring you into balance. And as long as you keep the faith, as long as you keep yourself grounded in your morals and your values and something larger than yourself, a greater organization or a religion, really doesn't have to be spiritual. It can be just a cause that makes you feel grounded and makes you feel like you have some power in this world that is so much bigger than you. You know, that's really the thing that I think a lot of people miss when they talk about this stuff. Is you need to feel powerful, even though you are just one person. And part of that is joining something bigger than yourself. That's why some people turn to religion and spirituality, but other people turn to political movements. Other people turn to social causes and things like that. So really do what speaks to your soul, that makes you feel like you're contributing to something larger and like you're working with others towards something bigger, a larger goal, something that makes you feel like you have purpose and like you're contributing to a community. Can really, really change the way you view the world. It can change the way you view yourself, and it can really give you this sense of purpose that can bring you into balance in like this natural flow kind of way. It's amazing. I love it. And then finally, the Six of Pentacles indicates, yes, you are ultimately going to come into balance as long as you allow this to flow. Like really, truly, I mean, really, with honestly, the fact that we have 3 major arcana cards here, the High Priestess, the Tower, and Temperance, this is fixed energy. You can't do anything about this. Whatever is coming is coming. There's nothing you can do about it. It's best if you just don't worry. Like if you just like let it happen, you know? Just take the messages as they come. Allow things to be broken down. Allow yourself to release things. Allow yourself to recognize poor habits, poor choices in the past, and you know, whatever else you could identify as an ego pattern, just things that you don't necessarily like about yourself, that you don't like to admit that you don't like about yourself, or things that you justify on a regular basis, you know, that you know you probably shouldn't do. Those are the things that probably need to be addressed right now, and you need to do it gently and with love, because you, right now, as you are deserving of love unconditionally, no matter what mistakes you've done in the past, no matter what you are going to do in the future, no matter what state you are in currently, money, physical ability, gender identity, sexuality, anything. It doesn't matter. You, as you, the way you are right now, you're perfect. Don't ever doubt that. Okay? I always want to leave you guys with that message. You know, like you're loved because you were created exactly as you were meant to be created, and you deserve love. because you were born. Like, that's it. You were born inherently deserving of love, and you don't need to do anything extraordinary in order to receive love, in order to be deserving of love, which is why you should love yourself no matter what. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. Oh. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you. Please join me again another time. And have a wonderful full moon and a beautiful evening. This has been Aviva Tamar, your happy high priestess. Good night.